Number 4, one of the major questions with Xbox's Game Pass program has been how this service manages to be profitable and if developers putting their games on it so soon after launch even have benefited from it. Anna Downing, Senior VP of Commercial Publishing at Sega Europe, sat down with Eurogamer to discuss Xbox Game Pass, which offers a glimpse into the impact the service is having on their products at the very least. Anna stated, quote, "We're really happy with the results," end quote, and added that Microsoft wanted, quote, "quality titles," end quote. More noteworthy, however, is she stated that adding 2 Point Hospital to the service helped push the franchise over 3 million players. No joke there. So we know ever since the Bethesda acquisition and a little bit afterwards, Game Pass currently has 18 million members. So pushing that franchise, which I've actually never played 2 Point Hospital, but pushing that to a new limit is impressive because that's certainly not the most popular game Game Pass hosts. And so when you look at a service that has Destiny and all these other EA games and like sports games and fighting games and all that, and 2 Point Hospital has pushed over 3 million players in total. I imagine it's not just thanks to Game Pass. They didn't specify, but that's just my assumption. That's impressive, man. And so we don't know the financial of this, but certainly companies see a benefit in it, and Sega's offering us a good look at that. I would love to know how Yakuza is doing on Game Pass, because
yeah, no shit, right?
I feel like that would make for a, well, what about Persona if it's doing well? You know, that's where I sit on it, because I'm still a staunch believer in the idea that it won't make suddenly Persona games exclusive on Xbox, but I do think Xbox is going to try to remove Persona exclusivity. I do think that's going to be something they go for, paying Sega to get those games on their platform day and date, like they kind of did with Yakuza. The next gen upgrade ahead of PS5 was kind of weird, especially in the launch window. I felt like there were so many other games dropping, it just didn't. I don't know. It felt like a reach, but I do have to say, it's good to see success through Game Pass. Anything you want to add on?
There's not been a single developer I've talked to. Not a single one. There's been nobody in the industry who knows what they're talking about that I've talked to who has not stated that Game Pass has not elevated their game.
Yeah.
In massive ways. Right. The thing is everybody's like, I want to know exactly how it does this and does that. Great. You can demand that from any company. They don't have to supply it at all. Yeah, a lot of people are accustomed to just being able to demand whatever they want and getting it. Microsoft doesn't have to do that. Microsoft has been fairly cagey. Some companies have stated they had a one-time sign bonus kind of thing. Others have stated that, you know, they get paid per the download. I think it's different depending on the type of game. I think Yakuza was interesting, though, because you and I both... Yakuza being on Xbox was a huge deal, but it wasn't made out to be a huge deal. And the difference between Microsoft and Sony, that's when I notice it. I notice it where Sony will like crow from the top of every rooftop that something is exclusive, and Microsoft doesn't do as well, and they should. They don't do as well. That should have been a big deal, and it wasn't. And that's the one place where I see Microsoft is having a pretty big Achilles heel, which is they're stating, you know, they're stating just harshly that this is a big deal, and they just don't, man. And I don't know why. Maybe they've gotten so accustomed to it all doing so well that they're like, Sega can do what they want and they can talk about it. It's theirs, so they can do the PR. I don't know. Maybe there's a different deal there, but I was really surprised that wasn't a huge deal. And if Persona comes out, I would want them to say, you know, for the first time on Xbox, and make a big deal for a couple weeks or months about it. But it just, that doesn't feel like Microsoft, man. And I'm not lying. Go check Microsoft's PR for stuff. It's not really, it's different. It's different. It's not as
things just happen.
Explosive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they move on to the next. Yeah, it's a workman-like attitude, I guess, of like, you know, tomorrow's another day, regardless of what deal we make. In fact, by the way, like the Bethesda thing. So they announced a big deal, right? They're like, we bought it. And then you see the occasional, you know, hey, as we roll towards it being assigned and stuff. But you would think if another big company bought Bethesda, it would be weekly. Like weekly, they'd be like, guess what could happen? And Microsoft doesn't do that, which might be a holdover from their other companies.
I think the real telling thing for that will be how they handle it post-acquisition, how much they make noise about it. But yeah, it's definitely...
But I mean, when is post-acquisition? When is the date? Because it's already been authorized by
5th,
every
early,
nation.
or latest. Sorry.
So latest. Okay. So
it could be within the next couple of days from what I've seen from like images going around of the deal itself.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is public information. I should make that clear. But yeah, so I feel like that could even come sooner. But yeah, Game Pass is doing well.
Let's hope it does.
And that's the thing that's a trend with this show is I'll find news that I go, why did I not see this in the cycle at all?
It happens.
Every fucking week, man. That's not even Xbox apologies either. Like, it's not us being apologists for them. It's just like it happens a lot. And there's an item on this section I'll indicate when we get there where I saw and went, wow, I'm surprised this didn't make any rounds.